Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. So we are going to be looking at our vacuole and the lysosome. So the first thing that we are going to look at is our vacuole. So one thing that you must know is that the vacuole is found in plant cells, while predominantly in plant cells, while the lysosomes is found in animal cells. So the vacuole has got a number of many important functions. Let's first talk about the makeup. The vacuole has got it is a membrane bound organelle, meaning to say it has got another membrane, which is what we are going to call the tonoplast. So the function of the tonoplast is similar to the cell membrane. So this whole thing is the vacuole. What the whole structure is the vacuole. So the function of the tonoplast is to control what leaves and enters the. So most of the functions of the vacuole will be able to be revolving around the cell sap. So the cell sap, just as we know, this is a mixture of sugars and salts. So our number one function of the vacuole is to more like store salts. Now these salts are responsible for the maintaining the turgidity of the cell. When we look at that, we are just looking at how much water is within the cell. So the vacuole cell sap, which is a mixture of salts, will either make the cell to be hypertonic, isotonic, or hypotonic. That means to say if in the cell sap there are a lot of salts, the plant will be able to gain more water because water is attracted to those salts. So therefore, one of the functions of the vacuole is to maintain the turgidity of the cell. That's our number one functions. Number two, when we look at our vacuole, it has got a very important function, which is the maintenance of waste products. So the vacuole may contain or may harbor waste products which may not be allowed to leave the vacuole. So it helps more like maintain the amount of waste products that the plant has. So that is very, very important. The vacuole will have certain waste products such as our tannins, which are later excreted. We might also have things such as what we are going to be calling anthocyanins. So the vacuole is able to more like store these. Now anthocyanins, biology is about how well you are able to relate. Anthocyanins are just waste products of plants which may appear to be pigments. So the pigments, these are responsible for the color of flowers such as the blue color, among other colors. So each and every time you just see the plant flower, just remember to see that you are looking at the waste products of the flower, though you love them. So the vacuole is able to store pigments such as anthocyanins, which are responsible for some colors of flowers. The vacuole is also responsible in the storage of ions such as calcium ions, and also they can also be able to store what we are going to call our sodium ions. So calcium and sodium ions. So these substances, the sodium and the calcium is very important in the maintenance of the cell shape. The sodium can also be used as a secondary messenger that can be used to interact with the outside environment and all that. So let us review everything. So we have the vacuole is made of, we have the tonoplast, we have the cell sap. Cell sap is just a mixture of solutes and liquids to form what we are going to call a fluid. Then also the function of the vacuole, we have the maintenance of waste in the cell, waste products in the plant cell. We also have the storage of calcium ions and sodium ions. We have the vacuole controls the turgidity or the firmness of the plant by controlling the amount of water that leaves and enters the cell. So this is helped by the cell sap, which is a mixture of salts. So they help the water to enter or leave the cell. We also have the storage of anthocyanins. These are removed from plants as excretory products and are responsible for colors such as blue. The other thing that we talked about was that the tonoplast controls what leaves and enters the vacuole. It's more like it's the cell membrane for the vacuole. Lysosomes, on the other hand, are found in the animal cell. So these are responsible. When you just hear the word lysosome, just think of destruction. So these are responsible for the destruction of number one, worn out organelles. So when organelles, which are, let's say when we are talking about the nucleus and these others, the nucleus, the rough endoplasmic reticulum, all those organelles, when they are worn out, the lysosome can be able to destroy them. When they are damaged and cannot properly perform their function, the lysosome can destroy them. So the lysosome's function is to break down certain substances. Now, when we look at this destruction of worn out organelles, this is what we are going to be calling autophagy. Auto means itself, phagy means to destroy. Autophagy is the destruction of worn out organelles, those that are found within the plant. If I can zoom here, you will realize to say this is the whole plant cell. Then just this part, this is what we are going to be calling our lysosomes. So these are our lysosomes. These are responsible for destruction of worn out organelles, and also they also break down or destroy foreign organisms such as bacteria in the cell. So these are more like they are the white blood cells of the cell. That is what you may think of. So these will be able to destroy those. Now, to prevent what we are going to be calling autolysis. So autolysis, so to prevent from the lysosome, the hydrolytic enzymes, which are the enzymes of the lysosomes from escaping, it is made of the lysosomal membrane. So this membrane is called the lysosomal membrane, which is made of phospholipids which prevent from autolysis. Autolysis, we might talk about the cell itself, which is the lysosome, from being digested. It is protected by the membrane, which we are going to call the lysosomal membrane. Gets the difference? Autophagy is the destruction of worn out cells. Autolysis can refer to the destruction of the cell itself. Let us review. So the lysosomes are responsible for breaking down worn out organelles through the process of autophagy. It breaks down foreign materials such as bacteria by use of the hydrolytic enzymes. Lysosomal membrane prevents breaking down of the lysosome itself, thereby preventing what we are going to call autolysis. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you would like, subscribe, and share for more. See you in the next tutorial.